Hi, it's Gina with your Note of the Week. This week's topic is cost fields in Counterpoint. There are several cost fields, and I want to explain what they all mean today. So let's start in Inventory and Items. And I'll select an item. Now obviously here on the main tab of the Item Master, last cost is the last cost you paid for this item. And this field is updated after posting a receiver or posting a purchasing adjustment. Next, let's go down to Inventory. I'll press the Enter key and we can see Average, Standard, and Last Cost. Average cost is updated every time you post a receiver or a purchasing adjustment. It's also the value for cost on your sales reports. Standard cost never changes. This is the first value defined for the item when it was initially built. Last cost. This field is updated every time you post a receiver. When it comes to purchasing, a lot of people think that the cost suggested on the purchase request is coming from the last cost field, but in actuality, it's coming from a vendor item record. So if I click on Vendor Items, and I'll just use my right-facing arrow to call it my primary vendor, and go to Purchasing, the value that's suggested on a purchase request is actually coming from the unit cost field here on the vendor item record. Here's why that's important to know. If you happen to know the vendor is changing the cost on some items that you're going to purchase, in advance, you could manually update the unit cost field for those items so that when you create the purchasing request, that new cost is automatically suggested to you. And that's your Note of the Week for cost. Thanks for joining me, and I'll talk with you next week. Thanks for joining me for this session of Note of the Week. Hope to see you again soon. We would love to hear from you. If you would like to submit a question for Note of the Week, email training@cksystem.com. And on the subject line, type Note of the Week. If you would like to schedule training time or request a free training catalog, call me at 888-476-7911, extension 3. Talk to you next week. Bye.